Welcome to Greek for a Week. I'm glad that you have decided to view this week's video. And this week we are looking at verses 29 and 30 here of chapter 1. As you can see, we will be wrapping up this particular paragraph here, 27 through 30. So next week we will look at a diagram then of verses 27 through 30. So let's translate as we always do, and then we'll look at a few things that might help us better understand how the passage is put together. Okay? For it has been granted to you for the sake of Christ, not only to believe in him, but also to suffer for Christ's sake, having the same conflict which you saw in me and now you hear in me. Okay, a few things. Which I think there are specifically two things here that I want to point out that they will be able to be seen much better when we look at the diagram next week. For example, the first word hati, okay, again, probably introduces a clause that's causal, okay, from verse 28. So that, again, we'll see that connection next week. So verse 29, if you will, provides a cause or reason from verse 28. Then you have the ekaristhe. Ekaristhe. Okay, there you have a third person singular, aorist passive. Again, you have the the ending there, aorist passive indicative of charizomai. All right, charizomai. Then you also have the ta huper. Okay, so you have ta huper Christou. The huper Christou, there's your prepositional phrase. You have a ta that precedes the preposition, which serves as a nominalizer. Again, you probably could translate that prepositional phrase there, that which is for Christ. Again, it provides for us, again, it nominalizes the preposition, because remember, prepositions typically provide for us modification to the verb. You have two infinitives. You have pisteuein here, pisteuein, and then you have paskein. Okay, both of those are substantival infinitives pointing back to Christ. Okay, to believe in him, and of course the in him would point back to Christ, and then the paskein there, to suffer, would again go back to autou, suffer, if you will, on his behalf, and again that's speaking of Christ. Again, you have another Allah, which is, again, that, try to always bring that out, because it's important that that's a strong contrast. You even have a negation here, not only this, and that is to believe, but also to suffer. So there's a contrast there that I think is an important one to bring out. Then you have the ta altan, or excuse me, the tan altan. That is because of the article that precedes altan, you would translate that as the word same, which is why we said having the same conflict. And here's having, which is ekantes, is a participle. I believe that's a participle of manner, but there are also other participles of manner in the previous verses, 27 and 28. So I think all of those will run parallel. We'll see how that plays out then when we diagram next week. You have the idete there, which is the second person plural, aorist, active indicative of horao, which is UC. Then you have a present tense form of akuo, which is a present active indicative, second person plural. You have the ete ending both here and here, so that would be second person plural. Then, of course, you have the kai. We can say that as well. You have the kai joining the akuete and the edete. Then you also have this kai here joining both this infinitive pascain and pistu ain. So again, trust that's been helpful. That was verses 29 and 30. We will look at the entire paragraph 27 through 30 next week as we diagram. Again, you have a great week. It's Easter week. And again, trust you have a blessed holiday this weekend. Lord bless.